Good afternoon. Today we have the pleasure of welcoming an artist whose voice has traveled far beyond borders, languages, and musical genres. Born in Beirut and now recognized on some of the world's most prestigious stages, Mayssa Karaa has built a remarkable career by bringing together cultures through music. Whether performing alongside renowned artists such as Andrea Bocelli, collaborating with legendary composer A.R. Rahman, contributing to Grammy-nominated projects, or leading artist initiatives that empower the next generation of musicians, she has constantly used music as a bridge between worlds. But beyond the accolades and international recognitions, Mayssa's journey is one of the authenticity, identity, and storytelling. Through her music, she carries pieces of Lebanon, the Arab world, and the many places she has called home, creating a unique artistic voice that resonates with audiences across the globe. Rather than trying to summarize such an extraordinary journey in a few minutes, we invited Mayssa to share it with us herself, her experiences, her inspirations, her challenges, and the moments that have shaped the artist and the woman she is today. Ahla wa sahla, Mayssa. Welcome to the Lebanese Film Festival, 10th edition from Montreal. Thank you for joining us from the other side of the world.
Thank you so much, Halo Banjad. Before I begin, I want to congratulate you and the entire team behind this incredible festival in Montreal. I truly wish I was there in person. As a Lebanese expatriate myself, for more than 20 years already, I know how much dedication and resilience and passion it takes to create initiatives like these outside of Lebanon. And they become much more than festivals. They become a voice, they become a space to celebrate our identity. So thank you so much for inviting me to be part of this initiative today.
Thank you. We're really happy to have you. We've been thinking of that for a long time. We would love to have you in person. خلاص, next time إذا الله راد.
إن شاء الله ما تجي.
I'm gonna start with a question, just genuine one, saying, when you look back at your earliest musical memories, do you feel you were composing music, or were you translating emotions you didn't yet have words for?
Yeah, I was always a very lively kid, expressive kid. And I feel that was mostly the way I translated emotions when I was a child. And growing up in Lebanon, music was always around me. I found myself connecting to feelings through sound before I even had the words to explain. But nobody really knew that music was going to be my passion. My family, the people around me, didn't take it seriously. They just let me express myself the way I wanted to express myself and signed me up to school, to maybe being part of the choir وكل هالاشياء. So they were quite supportive in letting me express myself. But I only found out that I had a talent in my school in Notre Dame de Jamhour when the teacher suddenly heard my voice out of 100 kids in the choir. And he told me to sing the song that I remember is called اسمها غنيت, one of my favorite songs from Sayyida Fayrouz. And since then, my parents and everyone around realized إنه لا هالبنت عندها شيء, so لازم ننميه بالثقافة. We have to try and truly enrich that talent that she has. I enrolled in the conservatory of Beirut, and looking back, I think that's still what I do today. Whether I'm writing a song or I'm performing on stage or I'm working on a big project, I'm still trying to translate those emotions that are often very difficult to express in any other way. So it's still my escape since then until today.
You know, the schools are always the best place to be discovered, eh?
Definitely. I was fortunate that I had this attention. And sometimes people might not notice a talent, and you might miss an opportunity, or the parents or the people behind you are not there to support it, and you don't end up pursuing what you were destined to do.
Yeah, and we know that you moved between Lebanon, the United States, and now Abu Dhabi at Berkeley, running the artistic and the educational initiatives. At what point did you stop feeling like you were between cultures and start feeling like you were building your own cultural language?
It was a journey, I'm not gonna lie. I think sometimes we get lost when a lot of so many, when you were part of so many different evolving environments, cultures, people that you want to meet. I've always been a curious person and wanting to be involved in everything. So my curiosity, I think, is behind a lot of the successes that I've had till today. But for a long time, I felt like I was living in between those cultures. I left Lebanon, I studied in the US, I lived in the US and started building a career internationally there. And today I live in the UAE. So it took time to internalize and better understand as a musician, as an individual, you know, where do I stand? You know, what is that thing that doesn't move? And I realized that my Lebanese identity is the only thing that never moved. You know, wherever I went, it became in a way the thread that connects everything I do. So, and even it's not about just singing about Lebanon or singing in Arabic. Even when I'm singing in English, in Hindi, in Italian, in French, there's always something deeply Lebanese at the center. And it taught me that I don't need to choose. The more I traveled, the more I realized that this was my uniqueness, actually. It came from staying connected to where I come from, to my roots, to my core. And I'm sure everyone here that is listening to this as a Lebanese individual, as Lebanon is just not where we are born. It's the lens through which, I mean, I'll speak for myself, it's the lens through which I experienced and created art for the first time. So how can I not go back to this place every single time?
Talking about that, which part of your identity do you feel you have to protect? What part of our, let's say, your identity? Let's start with this, and then we have to protect something. For you, what was it the most important part that you always wanted to protect?
I would say staying authentic. Sometimes opportunities are big and we get confused. Like, should I take this? Is it the right thing for me? Maybe that would lead me to be more famous, but it doesn't align with who I am as a person or as an artist. So I think that was the main part that I've always had to protect. Like there were moments literally where I had to say no to opportunities. And a lot of people were like, are you nuts? You know, you should be doing this. But they just didn't feel aligned with who I was who I am and who I was as an artist. And I think I never left that attachment to how things connect to me as a person, even though it felt risky at the time. But I'm realizing, and I realize more and more that what I discovered that the opportunities that truly changed my life actually came because I brought my full identity into the room. My Arabic version of White Rabbit in the movie in Hollywood, in American Hustle, made me become the first Grammy-nominated Arab singer. The same happened when I performed with Bocelli, when I worked with A.R. Rahman, when I was selected to sing the theme song of the Expo 2020, being the bridge between the East and the West. I reflect and I realize that these are the things that happened to me when I wasn't approached to be someone else, when I was approached to be Mayssa and when people wanted me to be myself. So protecting my identity, I don't see it as a limitation, even though, you know, I've always had that debate with people. I actually think it's my signature and it helps me connect with everything that I do, even if it takes more time.
Yeah, especially that your music lives right now inside films where the sound becomes really invisible storytelling. Do you ever feel like that your compositions reveal truths that words and images cannot?
Yeah, a kid, absolutely. Actually, my first real step, like I just mentioned, into the international music scene in Hollywood came through a film. So, and even since I was a kid, beyond this opportunity, I've always been a visual person. So even when I'm singing, I'm seeing images, I'm seeing characters, colors, stories in my mind. I love being even behind the creative process of my music videos. That's probably why the opportunity came like that, in such a natural connection to film music. And to me, it doesn't feel like I'm singing a song. It feels like I'm entering an emotional world of a story. So hatta when I'm singing Hindi in a Bollywood movie and I don't even speak the Hindi language, I feel like I've mastered how to convey an emotion through an image. And I feel that music truly allows us to feel something before we even fully understand it. Like it actually can reveal truths that I truly believe that words and images cannot do alone. Like you really, it's such a must to find it and to convey that emotion and to connect all the pieces that we're trying to put together in a movie.
So I can say we realize right now that music is not your career, actually, but we can say it's a responsibility as an artist and as a woman telling stories in a world where the male-dominated industry, it's a male-dominated industry. How do you feel, and how your responsibility, how you translate your responsibility in this area?
Yeah, I remember when we had a conversation, Haylov, and I shared with you a little bit of the story behind me choosing music as my career. And I just want to share it very quickly. لأنه the more I share it, and especially with my role at Berkeley, I think that this becomes a way to, it's not about inspiring others, but kind of helping others realize that everything happens for a reason and it's not cheesy. It's really true. Like it's just about us really taking a moment to listen and to pay attention to things that happen in our lives, because sometimes a moment can change everything. For me, like I studied music, like I mentioned, since I was a kid, but I never knew, I want to be an artist. I knew I wanted to sing, but I was not like 100% kind of set on being an artist. I went to Boston, I studied civil engineering, and not because my family wanted me to be an engineer. Bil'aks, they wanted me to be a musician, which is very rare internationally, and especially in the Middle Eastern mentality. And my entire family, and on my dad's side especially, they're all like engineers and doctors, and so it was very like, it was not common to see that encouragement. But I was worried. I was not sure that, especially living abroad, I did not know like how would I be accepted as a Lebanese artist singing in the US? I knew that talent was not the only factor for success. I saw less talented people that made it further. I saw people that that had the right mentors, that were at the right place at the right time. حسيت انه the odds were not in my favor, and I'm like, look, I'm gonna keep music as my passion and I'm gonna pursue engineering. Let this be my safety kind of career, and music, like I don't want to put the burden of the business on my music, because I'm gonna start to like not like it. It's not gonna be my escape anymore. It might become a burden. But then while I was still performing, I had a concert, because I was truly active in music, but it was the thing I was doing on the side. I had a concert with an orchestra in Boston, and the conductor was a French conductor who knew nothing about me. And it was nice because, always your family, no matter how much, they love you, they will always support you. They will always tell you, that's in my case, and hopefully in a lot of people's cases. But you always need that outsider who doesn't really care to tell you, hey, like a wake-up call to help you realize what you must do in life. And he came to me and he told me, and I'm going to say it in French, he said, Mayssa, je veux te poser une question si tu me permets. À la fin, quand tu rencontreras le Seigneur, il va te poser une question. Je t'ai donné un cadeau, qu'est-ce que tu en as fait? And at the time, I was like, okay, like, no, there's a reason why, and I'm not happy. And I had one semester left to finish my engineering school. I bailed on my engineering school, went to Berklee College of Music, got accepted, and started my career in music. And a lot of people are like, Lahza, you had one semester left and a semester, and then go to to your music. But no, music for me then was a choice, and I knew that I did not want a backup plan. And I think that specifically helped me also see that trajectory beyond Mayssa as an artist, but also my career evolving into leadership roles. I was the artistic director of the Firdaus all-female orchestra in Dubai. I still serve as the artistic director of Berkeley now in Abu Dhabi. So graduating from Berkeley and being here in the region, it is a responsibility. And I feel like when young women can see someone who looks like them, leading artistic initiatives, creating music, having a voice in the industry, it expands what they believe is possible. So I do feel that this responsibility is something I carry with a lot of gratitude, but I'm also thankful to the people in my life that they made me realize that I'm supposed to be doing this when I was not aware.
We always need that second person or sound, someone telling us or guiding us with a word, with a sentence, and they're lucky to have you. I can say at Berkeley, And I can hear that there is no regret being in the music.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely. It's a tough road, I'm not going to say. Yani. It is definitely a career where we go through a lot of internal struggles, where we wonder sometimes, like, am I doing the right thing? You know, it's not always a steady path. But when you still connect to it, and then something good happens, it's worth every moment. And you know that, like, I mean, I don't see myself today as an engineer, no matter what difficulties I'm going through. I'm always like, no, I'm still destined to do what I'm going to do, and the door will open when it's the right time.
Thank you for that, Mayssa. Really, it makes us really proud of you and what you're doing. Thank you for highlighting the Lebanese and Arabic music around the world. It's very important. You've worked like across geographies and industries. Do you compose differently when you are thinking as a Lebanese woman or as an American trained artist? Just like your identity, is that collapse into your voice?
No, I think my voice is one. Yani. I never think of it this way. I think that it is truly something that is helping me connect everything that I do. My voice has become something that doesn't need a specific, I don't want to say signature, because my signature has become who I am, but it's not specifically through thinking about like one direction. I think they all exist in one voice. My training came from my time in Lebanon, from Berkeley, from my experience and my career that has taken me all over the world, from the people I've collaborated with, from the languages that I sang in. So I think everything I've encountered has influenced me in some way. So when I create, I try not to separate those parts of myself anymore. They're all in the room with me, though, and my identity, my authenticity remains the foundation. So, and it's constantly present in everything that I create.
That's amazing. I mean, just to not be like divided in two feelings, like what you learned or from where you become. It's really important to really put all of this together and create something wonderful, like you're doing. You know, let's imagine together, okay? Let's put something creative a bit on the spot. If your musical journey right now are a film score itself, what would be the opening scene sounds like?
صراحة, I feel like the opening scene would sound like Beirut. It would show beauty and chaos at the same time, because that's really who I am. And I like to be surrounded by so many things, and I'm resilient, and and I have a lot of emotion that I like to show. So today, this is what I visualize, and I feel it would involve like a chapter that like the feel and the vibe would be like, while all this chaotic thing is happening and there's also beauty in it, that there's also something a little bit more zen, you know. Feels more like, I feel like right now is in a phase in my life, I'm actually not forcing things anymore. I'm much more about allowing things to unfold naturally. Earlier in my career, I was always chasing the next goal, the next opportunity. So I feel like the scene will be chaotic, but it would also be zen and serene. I'm not sure if I'm making sense, but good idea, I love. Maybe I should start translating that into my next music video.
هاتك عم تشتغلي على شيء ما بدك تخبرينا عنه.
لا بس
يعني
عن جد
هيدي ايديا
اعطيتيني
بس.
فكرة.
شو عم بتحضري لنا هلا ميسا? What are we working on right now?
Been working on a series of songs that will culminate into an album. One was going to be released earlier, but unfortunately, because of the situation, اضطرينا نأجلها شوي. There's a song coming out in the summer, but then all these songs, we have a series of songs coming out until 2027, and they will all belong to one album, one story that we've been working on for the past 2 years.
Okay. Like we have to wait for something from your side. تبعتي لنا خبر شو عم بيصير لنضوي عليهم.
أكيد, I would love to.
We know that you are right now at Berkeley in Abu Dhabi, in a space shaping the next generation of artists. What is something that you had to unlearn in order to become a director rather than only a creator? And we know that you're an artist, so now you have to put a bit more directing initiatives instead of being only creator, and you know, like you have to put more of you for the next generation. Can you tell us a bit about this experience as an artist slash director?
Berkeley is known as the world's preeminent contemporary music school in the world, and we're known for teaching the music of the day. So it's always about even sometimes informing our community about new technologies, available opportunities in the industry. So I don't see any trouble there when it comes to always being like aligned with the industry of today. I see the audience actually, especially in the Middle East, hungry for music, hungry for creativity. They all want to really express themselves. I don't think I've struggled so much in this space. I think we've done a good job helping the community understand the power of creativity in one's life, whether you decide to pursue music as your career in the future or not. And it's been a lot about educating the communities here, especially in this part of the world, especially in the Gulf. Music is fairly new, and it's something that is newly encouraged among the new generation. So it's really amazing to be part of this change.
It's really impressive what you're doing in an area where maybe the music it's a new added value to the country or to the place where you are. Thank you for doing this. Now we're gonna go to your music in movies. So when your music is used in films, and you're often not seen, but deeply felt, do you see that invisibility as a power, limitation, or something else?
No, I see it as power so much. And some of the most powerful things بالحياة, right, are invisible. Music, it can completely transform how you experience the film without drawing attention to the person behind it, right? So for me, if people walk away feeling something deeply, even if they can't explain why, then I've done my job successfully, right? That's the purpose behind what it is that I'm doing. But I also have to admit that there is something really special about the moments when people discover you're the voice behind a song they've loved for years or a movie that they love. I've had a lot of people come up to me after concerts and say, wait, that was you, and seeing that reaction is always fun. I'm quite famous in India, for example, but I've never been to India. So in a way, you get the best, I feel, out of both worlds, because I also perform as an artist and I'm visible in my own way in that space. And the music gets to live in different ways and connect with different audiences, and I get to witness that connection.
Did you write something? Did you write something that it means a lot to you, but for the world it's just a regular piece of music? Like, definitely you have something special that you love more or belongs to you more than anything. Can you share?
صراحة, because I write most of and compose and or co-write songs that with people, like I'm always most of the time part of the creative process. I can't think about one specific thing, صراحة. It's always something that connects to something I want to say. Not that I don't think about how people will react to it, but the moment I start thinking about people before connecting with myself, I start feeling like I'm not sounding authentic. But I can talk, for example, about غنيت نتلاقى ببيروت. It's one of the examples that I can think about. And I realized at that time, and we were always talking about Beirut in a negative way, in the things that are not the best version of what we as Lebanese know is the reality of our country. And this song at the time, it came from a very personal place. It's called نتلاقى ببيروت, and it's a celebration of how the expatriates every summer, inshallah, right before this call, you and I were talking about, despite everything, we hope to be there in the summer. And I felt a lot of people connected to it. So this is when the power becomes like actually sharing a personal story that people connect with as well in different way. But this is how I always choose to start.
فينا نقول إنه إذا بدي أسألك what home feels like for you or what that means, فيني أقول إنه Beirut always sounds as home for you, or after traveling in all like around the world and now you are in Abu Dhabi, you've been to the States, to Lebanon, what does home today means to you?
Yeah, to me, I used to think that home is a place, especially when I first moved to the US. So I was telling my parents, when are we going to go back? But today, I think as we evolve, and I'm sure you relate to this, having created the Lebanese Film Festival, bringing people together, I think home is more of a feeling. It's a space where we can be ourselves, where we don't need to prove much, where things flow naturally, where we care about each other, when we feel like we belong. So I think living in many countries for so many years, I've learned that home can exist in many places. And whenever I feel that connection, it feels like home. So it's less about where I am physically, but how I feel. But أكيد, I still have that physical connection to Lebanon all the time. So I need to take that battery recharge every once in a while to still feel that passion, all the time.
إذا بدنا نختصر حياة ميسا الفنية، خلينا نقول مسيرة ميسا الفنية هيك in a sentence, or how do you see Mayssa in the past part of your artistic life or journey, and what do you see for you in the next, let's say, 5 or 10 years in your journey, going, other than being the person who is giving the new generation a voice, helping them out to spread their message, musical message. Mayssa, where she's going to be in 10 years from now, and how do you see the past 10 years of your life?
Yeah, I think, when you mentioned about defining how I see myself, I think I see my artistic voice as a crossroads, right? Like where many journeys meet and unexpected roads connect. And also, but with one constant thread, who I am and where I come from, being always kind of at the center of it all. And I think, I feel like beyond also, like first being an artist is always at the core of what I do. And it's never taking a job that is, or working with Berkeley being something that is like separate. It's actually something that complements my journey. It's fulfilling as well to share and exchange kind of different experiences with others and being part of a change. So I thrive in those environments. And صراحة, I don't have a strategy in my mind. I think I've always been هيك, like I mentioned, even now in this phase of my life where I want things to just happen. I'm curious to see where things will lead. I've never had any big thing, any big milestone in my career was not something I studied. It's something that I let happen. So I still see myself doing what I love and following my heart and always leading with authenticity, even if it means saying no to opportunities that might look like a big deal. But just things need to feel right, and this is where I think I will thrive.
يعني نحن we hope the best for you أكيد. ونحن هلا uncertainty، يعني معنا بلبنان الوضع كتير مش منيح، ونحن قاعدين برا يعني عم زعلانين على اللي عم بيصير تحت. Mayssa, as an artist, what do you send as a message to the people of our Lebanon يلي عن جد هلا إذا فينا نقول عم بيعانوا لدرجة غير ما فينا نوصفها؟ What's your artistic message تبعتي لهم إياها اليوم من هيدي الشاشة يلي هلا أغلبيتهم عم يحضروها؟
نحن معروفين بروحنا الحلوة، معروفين إنه دايما نشوف الأشياء، يعني ما بالرغم من كل الصعوبات، الأشياء البوزيتيف، الأشياء اللي بتجمعنا مش الأشياء اللي بتفرقنا. هيدا الشيء اللي بتمناه إنه نضل على حقيقتنا لو شو ما صار. وبعرف إنه الحكي هين لأنه نحن ما عم نعيش الأشياء اللي عم بيعيشوها الناس بلبنان. بس مرات بنحس أكتر لأننا بعاد، ومنحس إنه كمان عنا هالمسؤولية إنه نقدر نحكي أعلى ونساهم أكتر و create more awareness about يعني the reality of the situation on the ground. So اللي بحب أقوله للكل على الإكسباتريتس إنه ما ننسى لبنان ونتلاقى ببيروت. اسمعوا غنيتي. I think it says everything I would want to say right now. وللبنانية إنه إن شاء الله هيدا وقت رح نتخطاه سوا، وإنه نبقى نحن صامدين وعلى حقيقتنا وما شيء يغير الكور والايدنتيتي تبعنا كشعب لبناني، لأنه هيدا الشيء اللي نحن معروفين فيه واللي ما لازم نتخلى عنه لو شو ما صار.
ونحن كمان من ميلتنا من هون يعني دايما، وهالفستيفال اذا عم نعمله هو لحتى نضل نضوي على هالصوره الحلوه يلي هي للبنان، ونخلي هالحضاره عم بتكفي والعالم يتعرف عليها اكثر واكثر. بالفعل ميسا هيدي السنه كانت سنه مميزه لنا، ومميزه اكثر لانه انضميتي، وميرسي كثير على وقتك يلي اعطيتينا اياه.
Congratulations عن جد. I'm super proud. وإن شاء الله السنة الجاية أكون موجودة معكم. و I want to say hi to everyone watching. Yeah, I hope to see you at some point and connect with you.
إذا الله راد. Thank you so much. ميرسي على وقتك، وكثير انبسطنا فيكي، وإن شاء الله يا رب next year بنشوفك لايف معنا، وإن شاء الله بتمنى إنه الوضع بلبنان بيصير أروق، وكل اللبنانية بيرجعوا بيصيفوا هالسنة تحت. وميرسي كثير على وجودك معنا ميسا.
Merci, love. Thank you so much.